Hi, Mystic Michelle here, and I'm here to bring you all of your cross-quarter day, your solstice, your equinox, your new moon, your full moon, and your dark moon readings. We're kicking this off first and foremost by bringing you a reading for Samhain, which in my spiritual lineage is the beginning of the new year. And so what a way to kick off the new year to start this new project and bring all you guys wonderful readings. For me, Samhain being the new year resonates the most. And for that reason being is that winter time is the dark time. That is the dream time, the time of sleep and the time of rest and the time of real deep inner healing. And just like seeds that go to sleep over the winter, they're in the dark, trusting the process they're going to grow. That is the start of their life. And like seeds, we started in the womb. We started as these little seeds that were waiting to be birthed. And so for me, that's why winter represents the start of the cycle of life. And then you go into the spring where you're born, you're new, you're fresh, you're excited, you've been rested. And then you go into the summertime, and in the summertime you're active, you're doing, this is the height of everything. And then come autumn time, then everything starts to slow down. You start to rest more. The trees start to lose leaves, and we're getting ready and prepared again for the winter time, for that rest, that sleep, and it comes to an ending. For me, this makes and resonates with me about the Samhain being the new year. And it's okay if that doesn't resonate for you. This is my spiritual path, and this is what I am doing. And so that is what I want to bring to anyone who is ready, willing, and wanting to know more and to listen. And so here we are. So for many years now, we have celebrated Samhain, also known as Halloween, on the 31st of October. And this is something that happened, I'm pretty sure, out of convenience and out of trying to get the witches and all of the ones who followed the way of the earth to get us off our path of connection to the earth. And some of us are bringing that back. So when I celebrate Samhain, I'm actually going to be doing it on the 5th of November. And this is because before there was a calendar, which the calendar that we use today was actually introduced in 1582. So it's not the calendar that they had 10,000 years ago, which the first calendar was actually done by the moons. And Samhain was celebrated close between the autumn equinox and the winter solstice. So you find where that meets in the middle, and then you go to the next dark moon, which happens, the way that I look at Samhain and the way that it was originally celebrated was actually over a window period of time. And I see anywhere between 7 to 3 days are the numbers that I get. And so I love looking at that type of information because you can take it back and look at other cultures and how other cultures celebrate, specifically thinking of Dios de los Muertos. You've got these two different cultures that are celebrating this event of this returning of the ancestors, both with the same intentions in their own separate ways. And I absolutely love that when you can trace this back to a time when they didn't have the communications that we have today. This is just something that they had a knowing within their bones of what to do. This was a tradition that they knew that this happened. And when you start breaking it down like that, you start wondering, how could this not be true? And if that doesn't resonate with you, power to you. This is what works for me and what resonates with my body and my soul, and the information that I've been asked to share from my ancestors who have been picking on me for the last few weeks as they've tried to get me to become more comfortable with sharing my knowledge to the world. So Samhain is a beautiful time where the thinning of the veil between worlds is lowered, and we have the opportunity to have better communication with our ancestors. This was a celebration that they actually had over a series of days, and it started with the giant fire that they lit and would have lit the entire time. And the different days brought different types of energies and ancestors into their festival and into their homes. They take these flames from this fire and actually bring them back to their house and light their own fireplaces with these, which would be inviting for their ancestors that wanted to come and visit with them. So this tradition was to help invite the ancestors to come into their own houses so that they can have communications, so that they can have reconnection, so that they could really bond with their ancestors and get any information that was needed. So the intention behind this reading is actually to give you a focus to work on during the time period of Samhain and the Winter Solstice. So let's begin. So we have this Spear 7. We have the Cauldron. Sword 4. And Sword Hollow. Lastly, we have the Stone King, the Stone Knight, and Spear 8. And for the herb that we'll have is motherwort. To support us in this journey. And for healing, pay attention to signs. So we got Spear 7 coming in as the first card that we've drawn here. The Spear 7 is here to tell us that it's time for us to take shelter, to go back into our place of comfort, to go back into our dwellings and re-establish the strength to hold our boundaries. Over the next coming season, what we're going to be experiencing is a real test of people that are around you, people that are going to make you question what you believe, make you question your own strength. It is vital that you come back into this space where you, whether that be your actual physical home and you put crystals around for protection, or your own personal body, it is vital that you are able to come and into yourself and have this ability to be a defender of your own information and your own self. And it's not that you need to worry about going and attacking anyone or being this warrior. It is all about, plainly put, the fuck around and find out. Putting that energy back out to these people in your life that are going to push your boundaries and push you in ways that you don't want to be pushed. It is finding that energy and that stance within yourself to be able to hold yourself and be like, no, this is where I stand. This is who I am. You can't make me question it because I know who I am. And so it is important that over this next time period that you start looking into how to find that strength within yourself. Following the spear 7, we've got the cauldron. And the cauldron, it has the beautiful mother maiden and crone on it stirring their pot. This is indicating to me of this time of reflection, a time of looking at your trials and errors, a time of knowing what is working for you and what is not, what is actually aligning you on your path for your goals of where you want to be, what is serving you and what is not. This is a great time to take that pause. Especially now that we've built this safe place for us to go with the Spear 7, we take that pause and actually take that time to recollect yourself and to find out what is going to push you towards your goals. There's been a lot of upheaval in this last time period. There's lots of people that are having major shifts, major changes in their lives. And so this is a golden opportunity as we go into this resting period to actually take that time, and this is the permission, if you were looking for it, to allow yourself that time to reflect on where you want to go. And if the things around you are supporting that, or the people around you are supporting that. Because your ancestors are. They're supporting you. They want you to move forward. And in case you weren't quite sure that the cauldron was enough for you, we definitely have this sword 4 coming in. The sword 4 here is about coming into almost like an isolation. You don't have to isolate yourself, but this is the time. If you are looking for, why am I stuck? What is happening in my life? Why can I not seem to make anything work? Why do I keep repeating the same cycles over and over and over again? Here's another card to tell you that it is time to start separating yourself from people around you that are not allowing you to take this time to reflection. If they're not holding space for you to have these moments of reflection and they're trying to push off whatever your reflections are, then it is time to just go. Take your time. Be like, no, I'm sorry, I can't go out tonight. I've got to figure out why my brain keeps repeating this cycle over and over again. I want to know how to move forward. And the knowledge that you can achieve when you take that time to find those moments in your day to have quiet. This can be done, it doesn't have to be every day you go to your house and you don't interact with people, that you decide to cut all your ties with all your friends. This is just permission to not overbook yourself, to allow yourself an hour a day where you don't have to report to anyone, including yourself. This doesn't mean that you get to just go sit on Facebook or go watch a movie and have no time. This is a time of self-reflection. So you could journal, you could watch nature is a big one that I always say. Meditation is always a really popular thing that people like to do for that looking within. And you can do meditation in many different ways. It doesn't have to just be, I'm going to sit and go and walk down this path and find anything. You can meditate by sitting in nature and watching the leaves fall, watching the different animals collect the different nuts that are still out, or the different supplies that they need. As winter's coming, they're still storing things. So that's a form of meditation. It's a time to get out of your own head, to turn that story mind off that is always telling you you're not good enough, that you don't have enough, that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. To shut that down. That's what the importance of this card is to find ways that you're shutting down but not escaping and not ignoring, which is what just doom scrolling through Facebook would be. And it doesn't have to be all day. It doesn't have to be for 3 hours. I mean, if you could just get 5 minutes a day of time where you just close your brain down and stop worrying about everything. But it's amazing how that can start pushing you in a way to allow the things you need to drop. Like, oh, that wasn't as heavy as I thought it was. So sword 4, find some time to be by yourself. So next up, we have the Sword Hollow. The Sword Hollow. This card is about knowing your truth and speaking it. So we're going to do this. You're going to get into this space of safety, of knowing who you are, knowing where you're standing, seeing the things that work, seeing the things that don't work, finding that time to shut down that part of your brain that just won't allow you to rest, and doing that inner reflection so that when we come back out, you can come back out swinging with this sword of knowledge, and that knowledge that you're going to have is of you and what you need. And not only are you going to have that knowledge, you're going to express that knowledge, because that is what needs to happen right now. You need to find the power in your voice. So we got the Stone Knight. For whatever reason, I'm having a really hard time today saying that. So the Stone Knight, he may be by himself, he may be doing his journey alone, but he's happy. He's just bopping along in this world, doing what he knows to be true. And he is still able to be a trustworthy person, not only to the people around him, but to himself. And so that is a very good indication. That is something that should be paid attention to. You need to focus not only on being a person who's loyal and committed and trustworthy to those around you, and to make sure that they're that to you, but also that you're that person for yourself, because then you're going to attract those people. And so you may have to take a beat for a little bit to figure out how to trust yourself again. And so a great way to do that, again, is with the 4 here of swords, is to find your rhythm, find your way to exclude yourself, get yourself into a routine where you are practicing self-care on a daily, not just when you decided that you have burnout. This is a daily practice. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to meditate. I'm going to make sure I've fed myself. I'm going to make sure I've watered myself. And I'm going to make sure that I've done the things that fill me. So, and if you have to wait till you get home from work, you wait till you get home from work. But there is a definite need to figure out how to trust yourself. And one of the best ways to figure out how to trust yourself is to actually start taking care of yourself. You take care of everybody else around you. Why can you not figure out how to take care of your own self? Turn that around and give that nurturing you're giving to everybody else back to yourself. And part of that's going to be done by doing that isolation, by separating yourself from all those from the 4 of Swords card, by separating yourself from all those obligatory duties, those things that you feel you have to do, right? Because FOMO or the loyalty that these people have, if the people around you truly know, love, and support you, they're not going to worry about the fact that you need to take a beat and go rest. They're going to support you in that. They're going to say, that's awesome. Congratulations. I love that for you. Go take a nap. And by doing all of this, you're going to find a way to be able to continue towards your goals in a way that's satisfactory to you, because you're the one that matters. So lastly, we have this Spirit 8 coming in, and I love this card because, you know, this is expediency. This is rapid change that's going to be happening for you. This time that we're in, if you are doing what you need to do to heal yourself, to figure out what's working for you, and to stop rushing around everywhere, you're going to give yourself the opportunity to actually listen for your guides, your ancestors, whoever they may be. Those little prayers that get sent out for you all the time, you're going to, if you take time to come into the stillness, you're going to start hearing things with clarity. And the way that clarity comes in, all of a sudden it's going to be just like almost like a rush of information that is going to help you move forward with a speed that feels like like someone just shocked you. That you just got tasered almost, like, well, not tasered because you're not going to be put down, but that somebody lit a fire under you. That's what it's going to feel like if you take the time to refigure out where you stand, say what you need to say, learn what's working for you, and find a routine that actually supports who you are, not who somebody else is supposed to be. Then that is going to come in for you with speed. Be ready, because it's going to be big change. Just be ready. Okay, and if you want a plant that's going to assist you during this time, check out motherwort. Motherwort's a great plant for this time period because this is not only a plant that is super supportive for all mothers of the world, but this plant is a nurturing plant. This plant is here to help bring about that trust, that inner trust within yourself. It is a powerful plant of strength. If you've never seen motherwort is this long, skinny thing. It looks like it's cannabis leaves, but then around the center of the stem, there's these there's about 4 or 5 different little flowers. They're itty bitty little flowers. They usually come in about purple or blue. And they have these little pods that are sharper than nobody's business. And so they'll snag you as you walk by. They'll actually catch you as you walk by them. And so not only is it a strong plant and will it survive, but it is also a protecting plant. So Motherwort is going to be here for you in this next journey between Samhain and the winter solstice to help not only offer you support, but help with that protection. So if this is something you can bring it with you, put it by your bedside table for when you're sleeping. You could, I almost see you could drink tea of it. You can almost just see having it in a flower vase, having it in a pot in your plant, in your house, to actually bring some of that, to help remind you of not only the strength that's around you by your ancestors, this plant, but the strength that you have, that resilience that you have, to remind you of the inner trust that you can have for yourself, of that strength and of that protection that you can hold for you. Motherwort's got your back. And so lastly, what we have too is, surprise, surprise, pay attention to the signs. Now's a great time to start reflecting on what all those people around you, it's not even about the people around you. Pay attention to the signs within you. Pay attention to how you feel and how you're reacting. A lot of times when we've been going through some serious healing, what we'll do is we'll create this storyline or this pattern of the events that happened, and that's the way that we say it, and we say it in this methodical way. But there's so much meaning behind what we say, and so there's so much meaning behind how our body responds when we say something. And so that is one of the signs that you should be paying attention to, is how is your body reacting to not only what's coming out of your mouth, but what's coming from around you. Those are signs that you should be looking for. If you're in tune with who you are, your body's going to give you all the information you need to know. Now, sometimes we can get a little tricked because, especially for the empaths out there, if you haven't done the work to really figure out what is mine and what is theirs, then you're going to have this issue of thinking that that's a sign, but really it's coming from Billy Bob over there. And so is another extremely important reason to come back into yourself and to see what things are working for you and what are not. Because when you're starting to reconnect yourself and recommit yourself to yourself, you'll start understanding what is actually affecting you and what is being put on you by other people. And so those are all the signs that you want to be looking at during this time, so that you can come back strong, and so that you can come back and use your voice, use your isolation time in productive ways that are actually going to help you get out of that feeling of stuck. The warning signs are there. Just got to differentiate them and listen. For all of those that this reading resonated with, I really hope you can enjoy this information and that it helps you move forward these next couple months, because the change is there. It's coming. This feeling of stuck is not a forever feeling. It's just that you got to do the work to get through it. Be able to take the time to figure out and to heal and know who you are, because you are a strong person. You have power. It's time to start wielding it. Happy healing.